From St. Cloud, Florida, this is the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
Deep in the heart of Florida, one station gets it. That's us, by the way.
Welcome to the Doc Show, coast to coast.
Biggest problem is his ego.
I cannot reveal my identity.
Got a head bigger than a basketball.
Powered by the cold beer in St. Cloud.
They fully intend to pay for this.
We've got a great talk show Monday through Friday.
This is nothing but shameless self-promotion. It's a very bad taste.
I know.
Weeknights, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern.
Trying to be the best we can, just for you.
Well, all right. Just as long as it's tasteful and understated.
And if we fail, too bad. We like it.
Give Doc a call, 407-498-3193.
Here's another hit.
Your mother's ass!
What do you get when you cross a highly outspoken individual with the power of radio?
And I'm not a corporate douche.
You don't know that, son. You're hoping that.
Well, you still get the highly outspoken Doc.
The term Doc Show.
Often imitated, never quite duplicated.
We're your best friends in the whole wide world, so you better like it or we'll beat you up.
This is the Doc Show, coast to coast, with Doc Holliday.
Oh, man. What a weekend. What a weekend, huh? Lots of football, lots of surprises. Donald Trump going off while in the state of Alabama. Yeah, remember Trump was in Alabama talking to people who think exactly like that. No, I didn't say there was anything wrong with that. I've always had a problem with Colin Kaepernick and this entire NFL garbage that, well, Mike Tomlin said he's the coach of the Steelers. Now, he's the goat of the hour. If anyone should lose a job, it's Mike Tomlin. He has one player on his team that loves his country and respects the fact that under this flag, he can earn $10 million a year, if not more. Now, the rest of Mike Tomlin's team are cowards and hid in the locker room while one player, who also served as an Army Ranger, he's seen combat, and he knows. He knows what the flag means. And he came out. And he stood with his hand over his heart. This is not communist Russia in 1953. Nobody's forcing you to do it. But if you focus your team, and this is how you know, the Steelers were completely unprepared to win yesterday. And they lose to the second worst team in the NFL, the Bears. Only the Browns are worse. Even some of the better teams that have got off to flat starts, they'll pick it up eventually. But the Bears and the Browns, well, the Bears now maybe. But Pittsburgh, high and mighty, always claiming, we got 6 championships. Really, how many quarterbacks did you use to get those 6 rings? Because I know a team where they had one quarterback and won 5 rings. Sound familiar? Sound like maybe Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots? And they'd have 7 rings if the Giants hadn't beat him in the Super Bowl twice. So he lets his players hide. They hid in the locker room during the national anthem. Oh, and they used Trump as an excuse. Trump uttered the phrase, son of a bitch. And the mainstream media said, he said something so bad that we had to bleep it out. And there are others that don't watch anything but that garbage who believe it. But NFL players, you don't have, for the most part, any other skills. You're 7 years average, 4 for a running back and 10 for a quarterback. You know, Tom Brady goes way past that. And as far as coaching goes, they get fired left and right. And a lot of them deserve to be fired, to be honest with you. I'd hack that SOB that's running the Giants now. You wouldn't even have to pay me. Out. Get out. You have no idea how to coach in the NFL, and he really doesn't. But it's idiots like that that get the jobs. Now, Mike Tomlin has proven himself to be an idiot. Criticizing a United States veteran for going against the team vote, and Ben Roethlisberger even admitted he tossed and turned all night and didn't get any sleep because he kept thinking about staying in the locker room for the national anthem. It bothered him that much. And it was on the minds of other players, too. Winning? No. That's we got to make Trump look bad. And in the end, you made Trump look right. Now, Donald said, son of a bitch. Wow. Good thing they don't follow him around with a microphone 24/7. Or me either. You hear me? I just start cussing and it just make sure I'm not in public. So the Steelers all fired up, presumably upset that their one teammate, I ain't gonna mess with him, that's a big dude, came out and took away the focus off the team, they said. The team wasn't the fans' focus, except in a negative way. Well, as far as I can tell, you did that to yourself. Baltimore Ravens. They locked arms. And I'm going to say something about a peaceful demonstration here in a second. Just hang on. I know where you're going to go. They, over in London, if London ever adopted the Jags, you'd have the Super Bowl winners this year.
Seriously.
They'd never lose.
Oh, they'd probably figure out a way to lose.
Eventually.
They would. Wouldn't last forever.
So the Baltimore Ravens, they lock arm, kneel. We hate that flag. I have a right to do this. You do. There's no question. But if you lived under another flag, how much money does your big ass think you could win? Get.
If you move to Cuba, tell me how oppressed you are now.
Yeah. How about maybe...
I have so much to say on this, and I normally don't have a lot to say when it comes to politics, but this is just total BS.
You know, have you done anything for Puerto Rico yet?
Exactly. I look at the football player. Which was the one that raised all that money for Houston? He was a Houston player.
J.J. Watt.
I'm curious. I mean, that's a player that I can respect because he showed in his actions that he wanted to help people. You know, he actually did something. He actually went out there and somehow conjured up and raised this money to help the people of Houston, right?
Yes.
But did you know, because everything, like, it's all coming out now. So when those police officers were killed in Dallas, the Cowboys wanted to put their names on their jersey during the game. Mm-hmm. And the league would not let them.
That doesn't surprise me.
But yet, you're going to let all of these players go ahead and violate their own NFL rules. Okay? So here's the rule. When I tell you, okay, this is the rule. It's a rule pertaining to the national anthem, and it's on pages A62 to 63 of the NFL League Rulebook. Mm-hmm. It states, the national anthem must be played prior to every NFL game, and all players must be on the sideline for the national anthem. During the national anthem, players on the field and bench area should stand at attention, face the flag, hold helmets in their left hand, and refrain from talking.
Right.
The home team should ensure that the American flag is in good condition. It should be pointed out to players and coaches that we continue to be judged by the public in this area of respect for the flag and our country. Failure to be on the field by the start of the national anthem may result in discipline such as fines, suspensions, and or forfeiture of draft choices for violations of the above, including first offenses. So you tell me, Mr. Goodell, you tell me how it's in your rule book and you are allowing it to happen.
He's scared of the players.
You know what? It's not going to matter because I got to tell you, I have seen many of a post on Facebook and many of a people not so happy with you. Your ratings are already down by 15% this year. Watch out because your ratings are going to go down even further.
You see, Mike Tomlin said...
Oh, he pissed me off.
He said that...
Something fierce.
That, well, Donald Trump politicized it. And...
I agree.
Okay, but
so did...
Everybody else made it racist.
They jumped on board, though. When Tomlin said, we didn't want to make it a political issue, we were standing against the president for making it a political issue. You joined in the political issue by standing there and saying, we're not going to go out there and stand for the anthem. You broke the rules. You broke the rules of the NFL rule book. You broke your own rules. And what really makes me mad with the Jaguars, how dare you kneel for our anthem, but then you rise for All Hail the Queen or whatever the hell they play over in England.
And Baltimore did the same thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying in that game. How dare you? How dare you? You know, and all of this for what? For what? For a president who said his mind, who spoke his opinion? Because he spoke his opinion and he said what he said. And you guys are saying that you have the right. So you're saying that he's not allowed to say that he shouldn't say that players should be fired or fined or taken off the field, even though it's in your rule book. So he really wasn't speaking anything that was wrong. It's in your rule book. He comes out and says what he has to say. And then you're all sitting here now that you're getting backlash for the disrespect of the nation that provides you the opportunity to make millions of dollars a year to play a game. For a nation that provided all of you the opportunity to get at least 3 years of a college education for free. You don't owe Sally. You don't owe Fannie. You don't owe them. You don't have to pay back student loans. You didn't have to necessarily worry at some of these schools about whether or not you showed up at class, because it was probably known in some of these schools, we're going to make sure they get the 2.0 just so they can continue to play and continue to get their scholarship. Not all schools, not all players. I'm not throwing them all in that bucket. But most of you bail at the 3-year mark to go into a draft to get a sign-on bonus so that you can buy cars and shoes and this and that.
And the NBA.
Same thing.
Same thing. LeBron and all these guys stood up and said that they wouldn't go to the White House.
Good. Nobody wants you there.
And I thought to myself, well, LeBron, he doesn't invite losers. It's simple. Trump said that these guys that come out in Alabama's huge football state. All right. It's college, but they're really, honestly, the most loyally fierce fans that we got. And he says you're sick and you're tired of what we're going through as a nation. And you see a guy making $10 million dropping to one knee to say, screw the flag. Well, throw that son of a bitch out. Cut these guys. And at first, the mainstream media got to it and just blasted Donald Trump. But Trump was right. Because in the NFL rule book,
A60, let me go back to my...
I've got it 862 and 3.
Yeah.
And they may be removed from the game. Multiple violations mean expulsions from the league. Now, Roger Goodell will blackball a player out of the league if they get into any sort of domestic violence situation. And that's all well and good.
And rightfully so.
And that was a rule that, was really not being enforced.
Well,
but
you need to enforce it, but I can understand that rule as being applied.
Yeah, but the guys complain about that too. Now, so if Donald Trump came out and said the flag deserves more respect, I have to agree with him. And then when all these nimrods break a rule of their own league, and Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, doesn't do anything about it. Just pretty much tells Trump, why don't you handle the politics and I'll handle the NFL.
But the problem is that they made it political last year. The NFL started it last year. When Colin Kaepernick took a knee, he started that trend. When he said, I'm standing for my oppressed, my oppressed brethren. You're not oppressed, Colin. You're not oppressed.
He never was.
Okay? You're not. And here's my problem with it also. Here's another problem I have with it. Number one, Colin and all these other buffoons that are following you to break this rule of the NFL and showing disrespect for the nation that has afforded you the opportunity to make millions playing a game, going out on the stage as Jerry, who's the owner of the Cowboys?
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones said, you're going out on the stage to perform. Going out on a stage to perform and you're getting paid millions for it. All the buffoons followed you. You started this, Colin Kaepernick. What happened to years before? Were you not oppressed all those years you were in the NFL before? What happened? What changed? All of a sudden you were oppressed because you started stinking as a player?
Yeah, and he's also was facing getting cut that
so you decide,
last summer.
So you decide because you're not at your peak anymore and you might get cut that all of a sudden you're oppressed? Because that's how it looks.
Well, that's when he came out. Never said it before, never did it before. But
none of them had a problem with it before. None of them.
As you can see, the Niners can actually score now if you watched Thursday night's game.
So none of you had a problem with this for all the years that you've been in the NFL, up until Kaepernick did this. And now all of a sudden, it's an issue. You know what? All that says to me is you're a bunch of buffoons who aren't true to your convictions. And let me point out, this is the same organization that chastised Tim Tebow for taking a knee for a completely different reason, but chastised him.
But they said the fact that he prayed was offending some of the fans.
Who? Because have you seen the man's fan base?
Oh, it's incredible.
I really doubt that it was offending the fans.
They called it the Tebowing.
Yes, but nobody gave a crap. Maybe the NFL gave a crap, but nobody gave a crap because you saw people would go to those games in the stands with John 3:16 on their eyes. They didn't care that he was Tebowing. They didn't care that he was praying to God. I mean, it was no different. That was his way. That was his way of celebrating a touchdown. Some guys do a stupid dance out in the end zone. He took a knee. Took a knee and you chastised him. And it didn't bother anybody. You could say it bothered people, but it didn't bother anybody.
It made them uncomfortable.
It made them uncomfortable. It made them uncomfortable because they are individuals who beat their significant others, who get caught up in drug situations, who get caught up in situations that are not Christ-like. So why not get rid of Christ out of the situation, right?
They don't tell them do it.
Go ahead and get rid of Tebow because, you got to get Jesus out of the situation. Because, oh man, if Jesus is here, that means that my debauchery can't continue. That my drinking can't continue. That my beating women can't continue. That my getting into fights in bars and clubs, that can't continue. My hooking up with prostitutes and whores, that can't continue. Because, if you have Tebow in the situation, a man who's taken a knee to pray to God and thank God for all that has been afforded him, that makes me look bad. That makes me look like I got to stop doing what I'm doing. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid.
And the reason I love Donald Trump is because not only, and man, they came down on Trump like badass, but we were exposed and embarrassed on a world scale when the Jaguars, I don't care if they won or not, went on one knee, and then when God
God Save the Queen, I
yep,
think it is.
when they played that, they stood up and did the whatever hand sign they
And
did.
here's the thing. If I'm an American and I'm going to a sporting event in England, okay, let's say I decided next year during Wimbledon I was going to go to Wimbledon. I am going to respect the fact that I'm in England and they are going to play their national anthem before the events. And I'm going to respect that. If they stand, I'm going to stand. If they, I may not put my heart over my chest, but I'm going to stand. I'm going to do whatever's respectful. This is not something that is new to sporting fans here in the United States. Before every sporting event I have ever gone to, somebody actually asked me, because she doesn't go to sporting events. I guess she never went to one. She said, I don't understand why this is a big deal. You go to church and you take a knee. I said, it's a little different. I said, when you go to a sporting event and right before they play the national anthem, they say, please rise in respect of our national anthem and remove your caps. So this has been ongoing since the dawn of time. This is not new. This is not new. This is nothing different. This is what we've always done. And to sit there and disrespect, you have a problem with Donald Trump, take it off the field. You buffoons are getting paid to do a job. You're getting paid to do a job, to go out there and act like you can play football. But you know what I think? In your defense, maybe I'll give you a little bit of defense. I think you buffoons have gotten hit so many times in your damn head that you lost your freaking brains in the process. And that would be the only reason that I would let it go. Because you have damn brain damage or, a TBI or something. But other than that, no. That's appalling. It's appalling. You know what this is going to do? This is going to make, God bless them. But, the MLB, if they really wanted to, they could, totally take advantage of this situation right now, and bring it back to America's pastime and totally market the hell out of baseball, because we don't have this drama in baseball. But yeah, we have people that beat their wives, okay, but they're few and far between compared to this bull crap.
You're not telling them they should kneel.
No. What I'm saying is MLB, they stand.
Of
they
course.
Stand. They don't show this disrespect. They don't, you want to talk about oppressed, talk about those players from Cuba and how they tried to sneak in here to get here to play in the MLB. They'll tell you about oppression. I'm not saying that our nation is perfect. I'm not saying it ever was or it ever will be. But what these players are doing right now is just continuing to divide, continuing to bring racism to the forefront. And all they're doing, I mean, I'm glad to see it on Facebook. There's few and far between from people that don't have an issue with it. But for the most part, people are standing up and saying, you're not welcome in my house anymore, NFL. I'm done with you. Go kiss my ass.
And any of you guys that watch the Titans,
when did the Cowboys play? Did they play yesterday or they play tonight?
They play tonight.
See, I want to see if what Jerry said is going to happen with the Cowboys. I want to see. Well, they play who tonight? The Cards?
Yeah.
See, if these two teams are smart, they're just going to take all this in from yesterday. The Cowboys, they've already been put on notice by their owner. You do it, you're out. I don't care who you are.
He did that last year. He said it last year, too.
Right. So
said,
that's
I don't
what I'm
have
saying.
a problem with my team because they know I don't care who the player is. You take a knee, you're cut.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. They already know. They've already been put on notice. So, they know the deal. They also know the backlash that's going to come of this. Cardinals also know the backlash that's going to come of this. So it should be interesting to see
it reached
what they do tonight.
The most ridiculous, and then we're going to stand back and we're going to listen. Because if they're not going to listen to it at the game, I'm going to play it right here. It has reached such inane garbage. Just make a mental note of this. Two people, little band. I don't have the name of the guys. It's a chick and a dude. They were there to sing the national anthem.
Chick and a dude. Okay, which game?
It was the Tennessee Titans, Seattle Seahawk game, which cost me my weekly win because I never would have picked the Titans. But they're actually pretty good. The entertainers who came out and were given the honor of singing the national anthem,
They took a knee.
they took a knee and sang the anthem.
Yeah, that's beyond.
That's where
Yeah.
banned from ever performing.
Megan Lindsay, who is she?
I do not know.
Oh, she was a former contestant on The Voice.
Well, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, she was a former contestant on The Voice. Yeah, that's just wrong on so many levels, honey.
I got to tell you. So stand back. You take a knee on me.
I don't know who was singing with her, but yeah, no.
Don't let me find out about it. Or you are cut. Because of this song, people are raising back the racial tension in the country. And I wonder who could be involved with that. Give it some thought. This is what you need to hear, fellas.
Oh, say